residents of Eastridge County were left baffled today at the news of a supposed break-in that happened in the early hours of the morning. The break-in occurred at the local Halloween retail store, Grimzo's, with the culprit of this break-in having stolen one thing, and one thing only.
Yeah, so I got to the store early this morning and I see, of course, the door is smashed to a lot of pieces. Obviously I checked inside and all the shelves are everywhere. Everything's smashed up pretty good. Buddy's still there though, so I guess that's good. The only thing that seemed to be missing was the costume, the world. I don't know who takes just a costume.
This bizarre set of events has left many residents baffled as to what the intentions behind this strange robbery were. No security footage could be collected to reveal the identity of the culprit, leading many to speculate who this mysterious costume thief really is. Were they under the influence? A young teenager desperate to have a costume for an upcoming party? Did this robbery even happen? As of right now, it's anyone's guess.
Oh, if you ask me, this whole story is just a bunch of malarkey. Some kids break in some Halloween shop for a costume. Yeah, no, not even stealing any money. If kids break in there, they're stealing at least some money. It's just another trumped up story for a small newspaper in an uneventful town, when the newspaper company's probably running broke in a few months. I wouldn't trust a single bit of it. Pretty much nothing from that newspaper can be trusted anyway. Oh, to think, they said our small town representative was corrupt. Now,
whether you believe this ridiculous story or not, one thing is certain. Do not trust anyone you see wearing this costume on Halloween night. Eastridge County has been left in a state of panic and disarray this Halloween night after the disappearances of 6 young children in the area. The disappearances began at 6 o'clock sharp, with reports telling me that they continued through the night until finally coming to a stop exactly 1 hour later.
It all just happened so fast, you know? One minute we're having a regular Halloween night, everyone's trick-or-treating like normal, and next thing you know, here comes a mother around the corner who's looking for her kid. So we're all trying to help her out, you know, we're looking up and down the streets for where this kid went, we don't think anything of it. And then another mother comes over and she has the same problem, and then another, and next thing you know, everyone starts to panic, the police are getting involved, nobody knows what's going on, nobody knows where these kids went, and nobody knows who did it.
The names of the missing children are as follows: Jason McDonald, John Thompson, Ashley Wright, William Lewis, Norman Harris, and Sam Wilson. Police have spent the better part of the night searching for both these children as well as the culprit behind this heinous crime. While no one in the local area has been suspected yet, an eyewitness report described the culprit as wearing an orange, striped costume with horns, a tail, and a black mask depicting bright yellow eyes and teeth. It's advised that all residents of Eastridge County avoid anyone seen outside who fits this description. As well as this, an officer on duty tonight had this to say regarding the matter.
It breaks my heart to hear the horrible tragedy which has come over our town tonight. I promise, not only as an officer on duty, but as a father myself, that these children will be found and the culprit behind these horrible kidnappings will be brought to justice.
As police continue to investigate, several mandates have been put forward in order to ensure the safety of Eastridge County residents. It is requested that all residents stay indoors, keep all doors and windows locked, and it is heavily advised to not trust anyone you see wearing this costume.
Officer Kruger, a surviving victim of the demon, was finally able to inform detectives of the events that transpired on the night he came face to face with this dangerous creature. With the information he provided, we now have a better understanding of the capabilities of this threat and how our personnel can combat it. Firstly, the creature appears to be capable of causing both visual and auditory hallucinations to those that are within close proximity to it. This makes it incredibly difficult to locate and contain the creature. As a precaution against this, all ECPD personnel must operate alongside a fellow officer at all times. If you are alone at any point, attempt to locate your nearest fellow officer as quickly as possible. Do not let the demon fool you. Grab a hold of the nearest object you can to discern your surroundings. If you see or hear someone you know nearby, it is not them. Once you have located a fellow officer, vacate the area until the effects of these hallucinations begin to fade away. Secondly, physical contact with a demon is incredibly dangerous. Following his encounter with this creature, Officer Kruger had developed severe physical abnormalities which are still being treated to this day. The most significant of these abnormalities include discoloration of the skin. ECPD personnel attempt to keep a level of distance from the demon at all times. Do not attempt to approach it unless it is absolutely necessary or it has been terminated. In the event that physical contact is made, approach a fellow officer as soon as possible and seek help. Finally, it is important that all ECPD personnel remember that the Eastridge demon is incredibly intelligent and is aware that it is being hunted. It will attempt to mislead you and will look for moments where you are most vulnerable. This creature should be treated as if it were human. Do not let it use its tricks against you. Do not let it touch you. Do not attempt to communicate with it. And above all else, do not trust anyone you encounter wearing this costume.
As Halloween night begins to set in, all residents of Eastridge County should be reminded that the Smiling Snatcher is out tonight. This monster is very real, and threatens the safety of all Eastridge County residents. But don't worry, so long as these 5 simple rules are followed, you have nothing to worry about. Rule number 1. Remember the curfew. No trick-or-treaters should be outside past 6 o'clock p.m. That is when the Smiling Snatcher comes out to play. Rule number 2. Keep all doors and windows in your house locked. That way the Smiling Snatcher cannot come inside. Rule number 3. You do not hear the knocking at your doors or windows. Rule number 4. You do not hear the knocking at your doors. Rule number 4. If you see or hear someone you know outside past curfew, that is not them. That is the Smiling Snatcher wearing their skin. And finally, the most important rule of all. Rule number 5. Do not trust anyone you see wearing this costume.